It's like weird when I get in a car and I'm just like, what is this?
What's going on?
Brilliant.
Turns right on.
All right, so when you think of rear engine cars, you think Porsches, but today we're driving an Alpine A110, probably S. This is a 1600, and this is kind of like the good engine, the cool engine of this car, and it's already the most awkward, weird thing, and I want to just, oh my God. All right, we're gonna really take our time to figure, is that first?
That's first.
Okay. Being rear engine, even though there's no power steering, it's super light. The car weighs about 1,500 pounds, so there's really not a whole lot of vehicle to move around to begin with. But where you're sitting, how you're sitting, and what you're seeing is all just the strangest thing in the world. The steering wheel is not meant for human because it's tiny and it's in my legs. The clutch pedal, the brake pedal, everything is right up against the steering column and off to the right like a Countach or an old Italian car. The French definitely did not have a human being in mind when they built this car, and I'm okay with that because if you're looking for a strange Sunday morning, this is the best way to get that experience.
And how many of these do you see on the road?
This is the only one I've ever seen on the road, and I want to make sure I don't go into that. Oh my God. There's these cute little Weber carbs, and the car is just so playful. And the fact that the color is this blue, we're gonna find third, there we go. The fact that the color is this like Alpine blue, or Alpine, do people call it both?
I honestly have no idea.
Whatever, I'm gonna get lunched in this video anyway because I basically know nothing about the car other than like what Wikipedia has told me. And the only reason I know the car exists really is old rally videos, and then of course, because Alpine came back with the new A110. The car's geared so short right now, I'm in fifth at 70 kilometers per hour. And we're turning like 3,000 RPM. So clearly not a highway car. You're not gonna get away with anything at speed.
We were going 55 miles an hour in fifth gear at max RPM yesterday.
Unbelievable. She's topped out. It's plucky. It's such a happy car. And you're shifting constantly because the gears are so short. Sometimes when you get in small cars, you feel like you're part of the car. I don't necessarily feel like I'm part of this car because I feel like I'm taming it. I feel like this car exists without me, and that all I'm doing is trying to hang on tight enough to get the job done of driving it. This is so bizarre. My feet are in a very weird place, and I'm in fifth gear at like 30, 35 miles an hour at 2,500 RPM. This is a rally car. This is the strangest thing I've ever driven, by far. It makes me feel so happy. Part of you wants this to have more grip. Part of you wants this car to have like grip for days so you can go and just rip around corners in this 1,500 pound go-kart. But the other part of me is so happy that it basically has no grip because it makes it that you're just on the ragged edge at 35 miles an hour. There is nothing like this. Oh my God, I'm in heaven.
It is such like an animal that you have to tame it, as you were saying. Because you can't exactly predict what it's going to be doing.
No, but it's so playful. And it's funny because it's not air-cooled. And I read, the only thing I read was that it is a like self-contained cooling system sealed for a lifetime, never to be, I'm like, what does that mean? Like, I don't.
It means it's very French.
Yeah, it means like, oh, we didn't expect this to last. Well, by far, maybe the weirdest, most exciting driving experience. I'm doing 30. I feel like I'm overtaking like at a racetrack right now.
I'm trying not to say much for your video.
I don't know what this video is. This is the strangest thing.
You going for a drive in an Alpine?
Yeah, I'm so genuinely happy right now. And it's like really easy to drive. In fact, this gearbox, the only thing about the gearbox that's tricky, and I use that word lightly, is just like where the gates are. Wow. And even though it's only this little 1.6 liter engine, it has so much charm and character and bark. I wasn't anticipating all the noises that would come from this. Oh my goodness. What a machine. Oh my God. It's taken me about 10 minutes to kind of get used to it. And now that I understand what it is, how it wants to be driven, like, I'm like, okay, I can drive this. But it really, the first time you get in it, the first like 45 seconds, kind of feels like you're getting on a ride-on lawnmower for the first time that you've never experienced. And you're just like, I think that's how a vehicle works. I'm like working for this.
It's unlike most cars, especially any new car that's out in the market.
Oh. And you're on the edge of grip at 25 miles an hour. What an experience. Oh my goodness. There's third. We've got it. See, the way this revs, the way it drives, it's kind of like, that's why I bought my 911. I bought my 911 in order to have an experience that would be a little more visceral and raw, but I bought like the kiddie version where it's like pretty easy and everything's like, you know, it gives you the emotional feeling of it without being too raw. This is like actual raw insanity. This is just the craziest thing. And there's no joke about like safety in this car. Like, you're cautious not because you don't want to get hit to ruin the car, but because you will certainly die no matter what car hits you at any speed. Wow. Thank you to the owner for letting me drive this. I can't believe I have been able to drive this. I hope you guys appreciate classic cars and that you're not just looking for the newest M2 competition. Alpine A110 1600, if you can afford it, I highly recommend it. It's probably less about the entry price and more about finding parts, because these honestly aren't wildly expensive, although you do need to import them. But if you had to replace something on this car, it's not like going to Pelican Parts and finding 911 stuff. So thank you so much for watching, liking, commenting, and subscribing. Don't forget to respect the drive, and please don't overlook the Alpine A110. Wow, what is this car? Wow.
Success.